is a saying that if you ask two gypsies the same question, you get three different answers. The reason for this is we wish to conserve our own language. It's all we have. Liszt stole our music. The other stole the dance. You know, it's when they're dancing the flamenco, it's not the defiance is it's not against a lover who's jilted them like this. It's against authority.
General population don't know what we are, and if they do, it can be dangerous for us and bad for our business too, because of the stereotyping that goes along with being a Roma. And I did pass. People would ask me, "Oh, what nationality are you?" And I'd say Spanish or Italian, or we're just English or something, and just passed that way.
Oh, and Julia, she said, I want to be amongst the gypsies. I don't give a damn, the non-gypsies, if they know who I am. I said, that's fine. We've been passing long enough.
My family and my father are a tribe of Romani Chills that are found in the British Isles, and the majority of Roma that live in North America are Romani Chills. There's several different tribes. There's the Romano Cali that come from Spain and France. There's also Cali in Wales. There's Sinti, and there's Calderash. These are all names that have names of tribes that have happened. We were once one people called Dom, and left India as one people. And with many Roma, it's an unexplainable sadness that we all feel. So there would be times where everybody's laughing and just start crying. And I think that's because we do have a lot of pain as people. I know several Roma families where their parents have just let go of their culture, and now I deal with their children being angry and looking to find out who they are and where they came from and why their parents hid so much. And that hurts. It hurts me to see them go through that. But I also understand why their parents chose to let go, because it's a very difficult life.
Opre Roma, Opre Roma.
My mother was a great singer, violin player. She played gypsy dances, tambourine. Her nickname was Tamba. And she taught me music, songs and stuff, old songs. I remember a few of them. Myself, I tried the clarinet. I was doing well, but then growing up, started chasing ladies, going to the dances and drinking and all that of the well-spent youth.
My father tap danced when he was a child for money on the street with his brother Mark. He's done lots of things to make money when he was a child, during Depression and that. But every morning I wake up and he'll start dancing on his kitchen floor, and I can hear it down here. And he has a rhythm, and sometimes I'll do the rhythm back with him on the roof, on the ceiling, and he'll do the same rhythm back to me. And he always says, the day you don't hear me dance is the day I'm dead.
Easy boy.
way I met Lola was I had a friend tell me that there was a Roma man in my neighborhood, and he's singing at the Kino Cafe. So I walked in, and I stood in the door, and I looked around at the men that were there, and I knew exactly which one was Roma, and I walked up to him and said, "Is your name Lolo?" And I spoke to him Romanes, and he answered back. And then he started telling me I asked him what tribe he was from and where he was from, and he's Romano Kali, which means a black gypsy. He was in the same situation as I was. Hadn't seen many Roma for many years, and when we connected, we really connected. We had all the same ideas about the future, about the past. And like me, he really wanted to make a difference.
As a musician, no? Okay, you're on the spot, and when you get out, and the people come to you and say, "Are you gypsy?" And I say, "No, I'm sorry, I'm Roma," and that disappoints them somewhere, no? They still with a fantastic idea of the gypsy, and I say, when I tell them, "No, I'm Roma, I'm not gypsy. Gypsy doesn't exist," and some get very disappointed.
So as I said, this is the first annual Roma workshop ever held in Canada. And today we have, we want to welcome you into our culture. We usually pass bread out, and that means that it's bread from our heart, and we welcome you into our culture and into our hearts. For those of you who don't know what Roma is, in North America they call us gypsies.
Okay, take a break. Oh, and just to clarify things, you may be looking at me and going, "She's too white to be a gypsy." So, my father is English Roma. There was lots of Roma that went to England and Scotland and that sort of thing, so that's why I'm white gypsy. Okay.
Until I met Julia, I hadn't met any Roma people. I had met my uncle when I was 15 and went to England. You know, but at that point I still hadn't really processed what being Roma meant. So I didn't have the questions or the eagerness to find out about it. But as I'm finding out more, it certainly resonates more with me, you know. As I'm developing more as a person and understanding what my heritage is, it certainly helps you, you know, form a new person.
As the forgotten people, we lost our history when we passed the boundaries of Western Europe. No? They just suck off of us our history, and they try to destroy the Roma.
In 1929, we landed in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and the men built rod tents, and we set up that night, and we got stoned. All the people came around. They'd never seen people like us, the men with the earrings in and the flashy clothing. There was a lot of animosity against gypsies in those days, and we left and went to Australia, South Africa, Tasmania, Buenos Aires, and back to England. Then returned after the war in 1950. But we found that a lot of gypsies had settled down. They couldn't take the abuse.
Well, I think when I really realized that we were different is in Scotland, and I was very young, and we lived in a small village, and we were the target for racism. The local people would vandalize our home, and they killed our dogs. And on one occasion, I was 4 years old, and my sister and I were playing outside, and three young men came, and they threw a brick at my head and split my head open. And when my sister came to help me, who was 5.5, they beat her with a pipe. And they apprehended the men that had committed this crime, but we were too young to identify them. And at that point, my parents decided that they would come to a country where nobody would know what we were. And I used to ask my father, you know, why don't they like us? And he says, they've been taught that.
In Spain, the Roma were fighting against the fascism. I was going back to Spain, and I put, of course, myself in trouble. That means I go in the anti-fascist movement to see the end of the dictatorship. By then I was for 10 days and 10 nights under tortures. No? Some people ask me today why you don't have kids. No? So, well, because 10 days and 10 nights with electricity on your genital parts make you sterile. Is what happens. And I'm not the only one. We are hundreds like that in Spain. I'm not an entertainer. I'm not here for please the public. But I have things to say.
Y esperando y mi condena. Ahí en el meco de Alcalá. Y esperando y mi condena. Una mariposa vino, se posó. Y ella no sabe derecha. Por eso será que la vida a ella le dio.
For me, it's just my ancestors are asking me to do it. It's our time. And now we have to talk. And we have to speak out, and we have to do it. Don't bother what it will happens.
Y porque me dijiste pertenece ay a la tierra que te vio nacer. Y porque me dices tú perteneces ay no me niegue nunca al ser. Y un ciudadano del mundo y con los mismos derechos que tú en la fe.
A lot of people don't think we're real, and the ones that do, who have the power to change things, don't think we're worthy of it. So we have to break down those myths. Lolo and I decided that it was necessary to start the union, the Western Canadian Romany Alliance. And it was strange because we had decided that on a Wednesday, and on a Friday we get a call from the Refugee Society saying that there was 42 Roma refugees from the Czech Republic, and if we could come and help.
So when we first came to the homeless shelter, we was there 2 weeks. Maybe less, and Julia and Lolo came and see us, and I can't imagine how would it be if we didn't met them ever. So they really helped us pay the food, find the apartments, social services, and everything.
It's a wonderful thing that Julia and Lolo are doing, asking for help and getting in touch with various people all over the world, and they've had politicians in the States phoning about the atrocities in Czechoslovakia, still to this day, like a repetition of 50 years ago. They're shooting gypsies in the street. 3 gypsy women last year were shot in the street in Prague. Very sad, isn't it?
It was shocking because I didn't really know. I knew about my history and the horrible things that had happened to Roma. 5 centuries of slavery in Europe and over 1 million Roma killed in the Nazi death camps. I wasn't really aware that it was still going on in this day and age. And so that was really painful for me and very hard for me to handle.
This is a classic example of our lives in Prague. My daughter went to a disco dance at her school. Suddenly, her classmate arrived breathless at our house, telling me that skinheads had abducted her. I jumped into my car and drove towards the school. The cops were there already. They pulled me over, asking why I was driving so fast. I told them that skinheads had taken my daughter, but they showed absolutely no respect. They just didn't care whatsoever. It's just like during the Second World War when people hated Jews and Gypsies. The only reason we suffered in concentration camps and suffer today is our different origins. I think it will always be that way.
A lot of Rom have that answer. All the different tribes that I've met, they just think it's going to continue forever. They have had no break whatsoever, and that's a common answer. You know, it's like they feel like there won't be any end. It's been like that from over 1,000 years, and it's still happening today. It's still happening today, and they almost feel like there's no hope.
Să-l învăț la meșteșul meșteșul el pe mine l-a iubit mândră albă ca o floare cu coșnița la spinare să ne aducă de mâncare două smeri și un pui frit cu celulei ca la plug amărică tai buică să te sărut hai Marius yes hai să mai ia pe ea
Because my father suppressed being a gypsy and didn't want people to know about it, I don't know if it's that, parent-child thing. I'm going to do exactly the opposite of what you want. But it made me want to go, well, no, this is my heritage. I don't think it's that he didn't want me to know or he didn't want me to explore it, but there were so many fears behind it that he didn't feel that it was something that I should explore, but I do.
Okay, here.
So, okay, what's
we learn
this?
like this, okay? The first cut, yak,
Dewy.
trin, sta,
Punch. Okay.
punch. And everything we're cooking, food is haben. Haben.
So he told me that he had this gypsy background, and I was like, oh, that's so great, that's cool, that's wow. And I thought, I can do all these, I put little things on my head that I thought gypsies would wear, and I, got the living room furniture all set up like a big caravan and would sit in it with my little play phones and all that kind of stuff. So, but no, he said not to tell anybody because if we told them, then they'd burn down the house. Okay, just do the last part. Well, definitely flamenco is the one form that really connected with me. And it wasn't until I started performing with Los Canasteros that I realized why. Because when I met Lolo and sort of explored being a gypsy and what that meant and who these people were, and actually meeting people my age that were gypsy, then I think my dancing changed. It became a lot more passionate. It became a lot more from the inside out.
Y controlado y por sobre tu gobierno. Y desde este orden de ay y ciudadano. Ay, no salimos diario y de un infierno y pa' caer en otro mundo y más grande.
The tones of the flamenco are very emotional and very deep tones. So I just sort of sit with that and think about what my father went through and what it would be like to have to do that. And then when all the Czech refugees came, there was still stuff that was happening, you know, to them to this day. And in Vancouver, they were having problems, and people were having death threats that were helping with them. So it hasn't gone away. It's still happening. So if you, it doesn't take much. I think anybody you don't have to be gypsy to look at that and go, this is ridiculous. This shouldn't be happening. So it's all dancing has to have a form of acting in it, but you have to have something to tap into. So I think thinking about those things and wanting people to know that we're proud of who we are, and I think flamenco really displays that. There's the pain, but then there's this, I'm really proud of who I am and what I do.
I think I was a pretty typical Roma child in our eyes. In other people's eyes, they see Roma children as being adults very, very young. There's just something about Roma children's character that is like a small adult. You learn to work early, to look after your family, cook and clean for your family, and I'm talking as early as the age of 7 and 8 and 9 years old.
Well, when I first started going to school, I had the velvet waistcoat and half sovereign buttons and the flared trousers and the earrings, and they attacked me, the kids. So I came home crying, and Mother said, that's it, get the earrings out and everything. She bought me new clothing. I used to play hooky. I'd take myself way over the golf links and find lost golf balls and send them back to the next bunch of golfers coming through, and get birds' eggs, never scrag the nest. 4 eggs, just take one and leave the other. Never empty the nest, because she'll desert the nest then. And prick both ends and get the raw egg. Beautiful, sweet. They've had all the herbs and stuff, I used to walk miles and miles, maybe find a hedgehog, and I always had my knife with me, build a fire and roast a nice hedgehog.
It's not that our parents didn't want us to be educated. It didn't fit with the lifestyle that you had, and it also came from their experience. During the elders' time, it was either illegal for Roma children to go to school, or they were forced to go to school and taken from their families and put in residential schools.
You might mention in your evidence today, Elena or Victor, that there is a village near where you come from where the town council wants to put a wall, a ghetto around the Gypsies.
What happened to us before, I vow that as long as I'm alive, it's never going to happen again. I'll be vocal and active to protect my people and my culture because we have the right to be here.
The verdict is there. We've welcomed 5 more refugees to Canada, and hopefully soon 5 new landed immigrants, and hopefully soon after that 5 new Canadians.
Yeah. Roman Turkey. They cut their arm for...
Since I started working with the Roma refugees, I've had a man phone me and threaten my life. Said, go back, he said, you dirty gypsy bitch. You should burn in the ovens with the rest of the Jew fags. At Christmas time, I had calls like that. I've had to vandalize my car and spray paint a swastika on my car. But I'm not going to stop.
And the article I submitted, they printed it.
Actually, it was at the Vancouver Folk Festival. And after Lola performed, we sat down and he looked at me and he says, we've come a long way in 2 years. And because you just live and you don't realize. And I looked back at that and I thought, we did.
Y que en el mudo de día y por un cita fusilado, ay, por uno me crucificado y por muy tonto sagadito. Ay, muy tonto sagadito. Y ahí sí controla nuestra vida. Y mientras cobran la entrada, hay que ver que mala sombra.
My mother and my grandfather told me how to do weddings. Well, I didn't have to be told, actually. I saw my grandfather marry quite a few couples in the old country. The wording I say to my daughter, you've told me about this young man you've met, and do you know his people? Yes, they're respectable, God-fearing people. That's good. His kiss, is it sweet? Yes. Is it the sweetest kiss you've ever tasted? She says, yes, Daddy. Are you in love? Yes, Daddy.
It was an emotional day for me, number one, because I was able to find a man that was accepting of my culture and I could perform a traditional wedding. But the other part was that that ceremony had survived, where it was against the law for us to perform those ceremonies and we were hanged for doing so. You can trace it back to India, and that's amazing, over 1,000 years that, you know, that we were able to perform something that was performed 1,000 years ago. My father was very instrumental in preserving that and always teaching me, this is ours. It doesn't matter what they say. This belongs to us and should be performed. Our language, preparation with food, music, and never to be ashamed of that. And so I was lucky enough to have a father that had kept all the traditions. Some would say old-fashioned. So most people, I think, when they think of gypsies, they think of, you know, either theft or fortune-telling and traveling. And people don't understand about the traveling. They think it's very romantic and everything. We didn't start traveling because it was such a beautiful world. We started traveling because we were persecuted in every country that we went to, and we had to move on. And many countries had policies that we were only allowed to stop for 24 hours to 42 hours, and only a certain amount of our families were to be on those camps. And that's how a lot of Roma got separated too, because we weren't allowed to travel in family groups.
A gypsy can never settle down. You can never feel fully relaxed with four walls. See, with the trailer, you've got windows all the way around, and you can step out the house and everything. I feel like a prisoner. You see, it's like caging a bird. It'll never be the same, that bird, and it won't whistle the same.
My father, he's from a different generation. He's only ever had Roma friends. He feels so different and outside. He was raised differently. All he knew was Roma.
Plače starý cigán, joj, prežalostne smúti. Zahrajte mu čaradáš, joj, na poslednej púti. Šajori romani, joj, kermange, jakori. Nacikni na bari, joj, čaravte na bočori. Plače starý cigán, joj, prežalostne smúti. Zahrajte mu čaredáš, joj, na poslednej púti.
Bravo!
Tempest fugit, eh? We say, cheer is a jaw, time is a thief. Sure is.
This is the first one in Canada. It's the first Roma Symposium. There's been some concerts that are labeled Gypsy Passion, but when you go, there's not one gypsy there. It's more of economics, I think. So this is the first annual one, and so we're a little nervous, and it's been a lot of work, but it's going to be good.
I'm Ronald Lee. I'm probably best known for my writing. I've written a novel many years ago called Goddamn Gypsy. I'm born in Montreal, Canada. I'm a Canadian Rom. And I've been active in Romani affairs since the 60s. Now, our problem has been basically the myth versus the reality. When the Czech Roma began to appear, I was pretty well up on what was behind all of this. Unfortunately, the Canadian media wasn't. They saw them as the mythological stereotype of the storybook, traveling around with horses and wagons and dancing bears and tambourines and knife fights under the moonlight over the tribal virgin and all of the things that they had read about. And these novels written by Victorian Englishmen or Englishwomen, which were simply vehicles of fantasy for the frustrated libidos of the authors. They simply used the gypsies as vehicles of escapism, which they have done. May this ceremony, in honor of Saint Sarah, bring us all health, good fortune.
Saint Sarah is the black saint, saint of the Gypsies. She was brought to the south of France, and every year on May 24th, we have a celebration for her, and we usually give her an offering. Can be anything from jewelry to food. And when we give her the offering, we ask her to bless our families, or if we're in need of something, we ask her. And so during the celebration of her, we do the offering, we do the prayers, and then we'd celebrate with music and food, and give thanks for her being and guiding our people.
Now, what we have done here is bring Sarah to Canada. And we hope to continue this and acquaint more and more Roma with what this is all about. So it's the survival of an Indian goddess brought to Europe, housed in a shrine in France, and now we have created our version of this in Canada. The significance behind the Sati Sara ceremony is it represents the cycle of life: birth, life, death, and rebirth.
After the ceremony finishes, we take Sarah back to the place of our choice and light candles around her where people can go and say their prayers and ask her to protect their family People also will pin things on her that belong to family that have passed away, so she will also protect the spirits and the souls of our loved ones that have passed on. I believe in her. I look at our history, and somebody must be looking after us because we're still here.
It's all tension, 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 right? It's all this.
Whereas this is
pushing.
more flowing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and this is more like moving.
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
is,
yeah. Tension, yeah, tension.
Yeah.
The soul of the flamenco is not in the big halls, it's in the small spaces where the people is in contact really with what is going on between the singer, the guitar, and the dancer. No?
Y canta el río, hay quien ha dado y no sabe. Y hermano, y de otro está el gobierno. Y de tercer orden, y de tercer orden.
Yeah, I think in fact you don't do flamenco. You don't play flamenco. You don't sing flamenco. You are flamenco. Flamenco is our blues.
¡Ay, señores! Y ay, señores, y que crucificado.
energy.
We're in a revolutionary time. It's revolutionary times for us now. The younger generation are really exercising their human rights. You know, they're really taking what's been in place for all humanity. Roma are now starting to say, well, I'm part of that. I'm part of this world.
Yeah.
How are you?
Fine.
I learned quite a bit from the web. So there is a Romani news alert website, and it has all updated news about Roma and ceremonies, everything from human rights violations to weddings and future music festivals. Opre and Opre means arise. So we like to use that. And it's also in our national anthem. Opre Roma, arise. You have nothing to fear.
Jelem lungo le drumenza maladine sciucare le lumenza gelem lungo le drumenza maladine bachta le lumenza ay romale
Opre Roma.
Y ya me voy. Ay, si no supieran tan lejos de aquí. Y ay, ay, que sin ti y yo no puedo vivir.